Hey, Shalom, Israel, you're live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer War holding down the class here from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Tennessee, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. For all the brothers and sisters that's tuning in, man, we have classes every Tuesday, Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Teach so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? Truth is that so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. And in ISUPK, we've been teaching this truth since 1969, man. Every Tuesday is a Brotherhood class. Wednesday is a biblical law class. Thursday is scripture breakdown. Title for tonight's class is We Are All We Got. The class is going to focus on, now is the time that we have to band together, so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. The Lord is making it abundantly clear to us on many different levels that this society, that this world is not for us. You understand? That trusting in our oppressor, trusting in the strength of America has never and will never be the way that so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians succeed. All right, so we're going to go into that tonight. Before I start the class, if any brothers and sisters have any questions, all you got to do is bring them forth. Just type your questions in online. If you got any questions in the room, all you got to do is raise your hand, all right? Give y'all a couple seconds to get your questions if you got any. I'm going to go ahead and share the class, all right? All right, Most High Christ, Most High Christ. Now, sister had contacted me the other day. She normally is in class. She had a question that I thought was a good question to answer for the class. So the sister's in here. I'm gonna go ahead and let her ask her question. If not, I'll go into my notes and get the question that she asked. All right. Y'all just bear with me, man. I got this charger trying to charge my phone. This charger is not working at all. Got my damn phone about to die, man. Come on, man. I hate that, man. All right, so I don't know if I have no questions. Let me go ahead and get the question the sister asked the other day. Hold on. Bear with me, y'all. All right, let me see. All right. The question the sister asked, see something. Okay, the sister asked, since Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the chosen people, who created these other people and their religions if the Most High didn't? If the Most High did create them, why would he if they aren't the chosen people? So this is a question that a lot of brothers, there she go, Most High Christ. It's a question that a lot of brothers and sisters have, all right? Most High Christ. All right, no sir, hold on. No sweat. Okay, so I got a couple good questions. All right, first, let me deal with for the brother Brian Buford, I believe. You said you got a brother. You let a brother stay in your place of yours in Milwaukee, and he won't leave. You've been trying to get him out. Would you be wrong to involve the police? Yes, Brian, you would be wrong to involve the police. You understand? Brother, if you coming into the ISUPK, you in the school, you got a place in Milwaukee, you need something, something to be done about it. You ain't got to contact Esau. You understand? Let me get the answer to that brother's question right quick, y'all. Give me 1 second about going to the police. There's really no situation or circumstance that would cause us to have to get the police involved unless, of course, it's something that puts your life or someone else's life in danger. All right. The brother said he sells drugs too. No problem. Let me get give me 1 Corinthians 6:1. All right, this is for the brother Brian Buford. 1 Corinthians 6:1. All right. This is it. It says, 1 Corinthians 6:1. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? What does that mean? You got a problem. You got an issue. Do you dare go to the unjust and not go to the saints? You understand? Why would you go to the white man to solve any legal, to solve any problem you have between you and a brother? Why would you have the white man to deal with any issue when you have the saints who can deal with it? ISUPK is fully set up to handle situations like the one you're dealing with, Brian. You got a spot, you let somebody stay in, and you ready for them to get out, man. They won't leave the spot. You know they're doing things that's illegal and go against the Lord. And you want them out of there. Guess what? Going to Esau is not the solution. Going to your oppressor is not going to cause that situation to end. You understand? I don't even want to say positively. It's not going to cause that situation to be one that comes to a head, amicably. Amicably is like, without there being any pain or being any harm. You understand? Read on. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Brian, if you believe that we are going to one day rule this earth under our King Christ, and we're going to be judges handling all matters, then what makes you think that we're not prepared to handle those matters now? What makes you think that we're not in a position to judge matters between brothers, but judge the smallest matters? Verse 3, know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? If we're going to be able to judge angels, Brian, we're going to be able to judge spirits. We're going to be able to call on the Lord, you understand, for him to act on our behalf when it comes to spiritual matters. Then how much more power do we have to act on behalf of things that are happening in front of us, that are happening in our lives? All right. Verse 4, if then ye have judgments of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church. You should come to the school. You understand? We have a school in Milwaukee. We got brothers in Milwaukee. If you got a house or a spot that's for rent and somebody is in that spot and you want them out, come to the school and say, Salakia, sir, I have an issue. I said, what's your issue, brother? Man, I have a place in Milwaukee that I own. And I was allowing somebody to stay there, but the tenant is no longer, they're no longer following my rules. They're no longer doing the things that I require for them to stay there. And I would like to have this person out of my spot. I would like to get these people out of my place. And I would say, no problem, Brian. Let me make a phone call to see what I could do. And I'll call to Milwaukee and I'll say, listen, we got a brother, man, that's down here. His brother contacted me from Memphis, said he got an issue up there in Milwaukee. We need to get a couple brothers together, go and handle this situation, go and help this brother out. And guess what, Brian? That brother or whoever's staying in that spot, they'll get out of that spot. Won't nobody be harmed, won't nobody be hurt. You understand? Why? Because you came to the saints to judge the smallest matters, all right? So no, brother, you should not call the white man on whoever's staying in that spot. All you gotta do is get in contact with me outside the class. Let me know what the situation is. I'll make some phone calls. I'll, do what I need to do on my end, and we'll make something happen, all right? Just get in contact with me outside the classroom. All right, for the brothers of Quan, he asked, his question is, why did the 5,000 men leave from following Yahushua? And since we teach that the men in the ISUPK were the ones rolling with Christ, are we the same people that left back then? It's a good question, Zaquan. All right. Understand this. When we teach in the UPK that the brothers and sisters who are serving the Lord now are the brothers and sisters who served the Lord before, it wasn't just the 5,000 men who rode with Christ before he died while he walked the earth. But what about the countless numbers of brothers and sisters who came into the truth after Christ died? What about all the brothers and sisters that Peter and them rose up and taught? All the brothers and sisters that Paul rose up and taught? Hell, you could look at the 5,000 who rode with Christ and then left, or you could look at the countless numbers of brothers and sisters who came into the truth after he died. You understand this? I don't know how long you've been around the truth, but there was a time when the UPK was larger than it is now. There was a time when the UPK had schools in more cities than we have them in now. There was a time when, being a Hebrew Israelite, everyone who called themselves a Hebrew Israelite, guess where they were, Zaquan? They were in the ISUPK. But then a time came when brothers and sisters who were in here, they fell off. They fell out. Brothers left and started other organizations. Brothers left and stopped teaching the truth and started teaching their own doctrine. But guess what, Zaquan? If you wasn't here during that time, and you weren't here when there was hundreds of thousands of brothers and they left, but you're here now, you could be one of the brothers who came after Christ died. You could be one of the brothers who came and didn't see all the miracles that Christ performed, but heard the words of his disciples teaching. So you got to think about that, Zaquan. There's the 5,000 that rode with Christ before he died, but then there's also the countless numbers of brothers and sisters who came into the truth after he was gone. Everybody understands. Now, why do we teach that the brothers who rolling with Christ here today are the brothers who rode with him in the past? Here's why. And again, the UPK don't teach that the brothers in the truth today roll with Christ. We teach that the brothers and sisters in the truth today were brothers and sisters that have always been in the truth. You serving the Lord today, obeying these teachers, then guess what? You obeyed them 2,000 years ago. Hell, you obeyed them 400 years ago, 1,000 years ago. Whatever time you were on the earth, you've done what you're doing now. How do we know that? Reincarnation is in the Bible. You need a reincarnation breakdown. All you got to do is go to ISUPK history. You can type in regeneration, right? Regeneration. There's a full breakdown on the whole reincarnation in the Bible. So without going into all of that, let me get you hold up. Hold on. Give me 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. First Corinthians 14 and 32. All right. 1 Corinthians 14 and 32 says, and the spirits of the prophets are subject unto the prophets. You understand? Matter of fact, let me go back to 1 Corinthians 14 and 29. All right. 1 Corinthians 14 and 29 says, let the prophet speak 2 or 3, and let the other judge. If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn, and all may be comforted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. Verse 33. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. What is this saying? This is saying that a brother that has the spirit to prophesy today, it is because he has the spirit of a prophet from the past. And what do we do in the ISUPK? When we go out there on the streets, we prophesy. When we go out there and teach on the streets, we don't just read the Bible. We don't just have a brother read the Bible and that's all that's said. We go out there, we read the scripture, we break it down. We show the people how it applies today, what God is trying to get us to understand about the life we're living now. That's prophesying. If you're a brother who prophesies today, you have the spirit of a prophet who prophesied in the past. So those of us who come into the truth in the ISUPK, if you're doing the work of the Lord and doing this job, then you know that you did this work before. You understand? Because there's no new thing under the sun. Guess what? A sister who come into the truth and change her life and serve the men of the Lord and obey her husband and be a good wife, guess what? She's done that in the past. A brother who live a rough life in the world, you understand? Crime and all manner of evil and wickedness and sin. He come into the truth and he changed his life, become a man of the Most High, become a soldier in the truth. Guess what? He did that before. So that's what it means when we teach that brothers who you come into the truth today and you stand with the Most High, guess what? You were a brother or sister who was in the truth in the past. The reward, being in the truth is a reward from the Most High. Coming into the truth and obeying the Lord, to have ears to hear and eyes to see, that's a blessing from the Most High. Let me get you that. Let me get Get Matthew 13 and 15. Let me get you. Matthew 13 and 14. You understand? Read. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their eyes are dull. I mean, their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Christ said, for brothers and sisters in 2020 who hear the truth, who see us teaching, and they say, "Oh man, they crazy, man. Them cats, man, them cats is they cult, man. They racist. Yeah, they be teaching crazy stuff." Guess what? God has closed their eyes and has shut their ears that they can't see and they can't hear. The people 2,000 years ago when Christ was on the earth said the same thing about Christ that they say about us today. Why? Because God didn't allow them to see, didn't allow them to hear. It is a blessing for you to have heard the truth and seen the brothers teaching in any way you encountered it. Everybody got a different story about how they came into the truth. Everybody got a different way that they heard that they were an Israelite and came to understand this knowledge that's in the Bible. Well, guess what? If you heard it and you were able to see it, God blessed you with ears to hear and with eyes to see. Because those other brothers and sisters who heard the same thing, who saw the same thing and they couldn't get it, God closed their ears. God shut their eyes. Why? Because there's some people the Lord don't want to be converted. The Lord don't want to hear. But then there's brothers and sisters who the Lord does want to hear and want to see, that he has rewarded with being able to come into the truth. Why would the Lord reward you with being able to come into the truth today? Because you came into the truth in the past. Why would he reward you from saving you out of the world today? Because when the time came in the past, you heard the Lord and came out of the world in the past. The Bible tells us this. Read on Matthew 13 and 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Verse 17, for verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. There's brothers and sisters in the past who lived a righteous life, who served the Lord, and they weren't able to see the day when we came together. Well, guess what? Those brothers and sisters who didn't get to see it in their day, the Lord has them alive in 2020 to see the Lord in this day. The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets. The spirit of the righteous men is subject to righteous men. The spirit of righteous women is subject to righteous women. And if this is your first time tuning into an ISUPK class, who knows what you've been your entire life? But if you can understand what I'm saying, God is calling you to be a righteous man. God is calling you to be a righteous woman. Why? Because the Lord knows what you're capable of. Because the Lord has seen you do it before. There's things that we don't know that we're capable of, but the Lord knows, which is why he allows us to go through the things we go through. Which is why some of us suffer the things that we suffer in this life. Some of you may have lived your whole life thinking that God was against you and God was punishing you, when in reality, the Lord was having mercy on you. When in reality, all those things that happened in your life, the Lord was driving you to this point now where you would hear his voice and understand how serious it is for you to get right with him. Everybody understands? Zaquan, I got a couple more scriptures on it. Let me know if you need some more scriptures on it, Zaquan. All right. Hell. Let me get 1 John 2 and 15. 2 and 19, matter of fact. Get 1 John 2 and 19. Here's how you know, Zaquan, that them brothers and sisters who were riding with Christ, they rolled out on him. they were never with him. They were never in the truth. You understand? Those brothers and sisters who rode with Christ until they no longer understood his teachings, they were never really with Christ, man. They you know, they thought they were down. They saw him teaching, saw him perform miracles. Hell, a lot of people just want to be a part of something. Just want to be a they'll get down with anything just to say they were there. Listen, I remember back in when 9/11 happened. I grew up in Washington, D.C., man. I remember when 9/11 happened. Okay, the official story of 9/11 is that, you know, the 4 planes got hijacked. 2 planes flew into the buildings in New York City. 1 plane crashed into a field in Pittsburgh, and another plane crashed at the Pentagon, right? Now, there's all types of, you can go just research. There's a movie, matter of fact, called Loose Change. Go type in Loose Change 9/11 documentary and watch that documentary, and you tell me what the hell happened, you know, 9/11, right? I'll tell you this for a fact. I know for a fact. There was not a plane that crashed at the Pentagon. I'm telling you straight up. Was not a plane that crashed at the Pentagon. Anybody who's from D.C., who's grown up, you know, traveled across the bridge into Virginia, drove by the Pentagon, right? The Pentagon is a building that is very, very protected. It's got so many different, there's so many different protection mechanisms around the Pentagon that aren't even obvious that they're to protect the Pentagon. But the size of the building is a massive building. And I know when 9/11 happened, and I watched on the video, there was a hole in the side of the Pentagon. They told us a 747 flew into the Pentagon, right? And I knew looking at the hole in the side of that building, that there was no way, it's impossible that a plane flew into this building, right? What was I saying? It's impossible that a plane flew into the Pentagon because there was just a hole in the building. Wasn't no spot for the wings to have crashed into the building. Wasn't no engines, big fuselage that be on them big planes. Wasn't none of that evidence at the scene of the bombing at the Pentagon, right? Then they said on, like I said, they said on the news that a 747 flew into the side of the Pentagon, right? But that was a lie. But after that time, I've met many people who will swear up and down on their mother and their father's grave that they saw the plane that flew into the Pentagon. I remember I was an electrician, man, and I worked, you know, doing construction and stuff. And I remember working with this, I was an apprentice at the time. I remember working with this one white guy, this one mechanic. And we argued about 9/11 one day. He said, yeah, man, no, we was talking about something. And he just mentioned, like, yeah, man, my daddy was working. That's what we started talking about, where we was working at different times in history. He was like, yeah, man, I remember 9/11. He was on some job, and when the planes flew into the building, they put them on lockdown. He was working at some government facility, and they wouldn't let him leave for like 8 hours. And he said, yeah, man, my daddy was working in Virginia that day. He told me he saw the plane flying to the Pentagon. And I said, your daddy said he saw what? He said he saw the plane flying to the Pentagon. I said, man, your daddy ain't see that shit. And the white dude got offended. He was like, what you trying to say? You calling my daddy a liar? I said, listen, man, I ain't calling your daddy nothing. But if your daddy said he saw a plane flying to the Pentagon on 9/11, your daddy's lying. And he said, no, ain't that my daddy told me this? And I said, listen, man. I said, okay, no problem. I said, listen, man, you know, I don't know why your daddy might have said that he saw what he said he saw. But, you know, people love to, you know, have a story to tell. I mean, how amazing would it be to tell the people that, yeah, the day 9/11 happened, I was working downtown on the roof and I saw the plane flying to the building. I said, you know, it's natural. It's normal for people to want to be able to tell a story like that. I said, but your daddy did not see no plane flying to the Pentagon. This white man got mad at me, man. We was working together. He was mad at me, though, and I could tell he was mad. I said, listen, man, okay, if your daddy is what you saying, your daddy said is the truth, then I want you to be able to explain this to me. And I had him go watch that documentary. Had him go watch Loose Change, you understand, 3rd edition. Again, it's a documentary about 9/11. This white boy went home, he watched that documentary. He came back and he said, my daddy's a liar. I said, okay, no problem. You understand? I say that to say people, it's natural for people to want to be a part of something. I'll give y'all another one. I remember when I was in middle school, and the Cash Money, it was a Cash Money Rough Riders tour was going on. Cash Money Rough Riders tour. And I remember Cash Money Rough Riders tour came to Washington, D.C., and it was a concert. And I wanted to go to that Cash Money Rough Riders show so bad. I wanted to be there. But at that time in my life, yeah, I'm, 11, 12 years old. I ain't going to no goddamn concert. My mother ain't paying for me to go, be at no concert in D.C. Well, the weekend came when they had the concert, and the weekend passed. I came to school on Monday, and I told everybody that was there, yeah, I was at the concert, man. I was there. It was live, man. It was crazy. And I'm thinking that everybody's parents did the same thing mine did and told me, you too young, they ain't taking no goddamn, Hot Boys and Rough Riders concert. I'm thinking everybody gonna have the same stories. I come in there Monday like, yeah, I'm at home. I'm like, yeah, man, that Rough Riders concert was off the chain, man. It was tight, man. They had Cash Money out there. They did the back that ass up. They did the little twerking contest. I'm just lying about the whole thing, man. About first, second period, man. Come to find out, like half the school went to the goddamn concert. Bunch of white kids. I forgetting I go to school with white people. Bunch of white kids, parents had them good seats, first 5 rows, and they all get to talk about the concert. And somebody brought me up, was like, yeah, man, KT said he was at the concert too. And they all, oh, you were there, man. Where were you? We didn't see you. I'm like, yeah, no, I was there, man. I was something. It's one devil, man. I never liked this devil. I never liked him. He never liked me. He called me out. He said, you weren't there at the concert. I said, yeah, I was. He said, well, if you were at the concert, what happened when Cash Money came on the stage? I looked at this cracker, man, and everybody, it was one of the middle school moments. Everybody is looking at him, looking at me, hey, looking at him, looking at me. And I said, man, I was in the bathroom, man. I missed when they first came out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even see that part. And he said, all right, well, what about this? He started grilling me about what happened at the goddamn show. So I just left. I said, man, listen, man, I told you I was there, man. I don't got to explain myself to you. I was there. It was live. But I was embarrassed because he put me out there. But why did I lie about being at the Cash Money concert? Why did I lie about being in the Rough Riders tour? Because I wanted to be a part of something. I wanted to feel like, yeah, I was there. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people will do, they'll go out their way to just be a part of a group, to belong to something. You understand? And this scripture here explains those brothers and sisters who were following Christ. It explains those brothers and sisters who were walking with him when he was on the earth teaching and he was healing brothers and sisters. Imagine a cat right now, you know what I'm saying? A brother start healing people. It's going to be people coming out of everywhere saying, yeah, man, listen, a brother in the UPK get the power. Half the earth going to say they in the UPK. Half the earth gonna say, man, we always been down with the UPK. Commander General Hunter, that's my nigga, man. Yeah, man, and Monday night, man, that radio show be live. Yeah, Tazaryak and Cotton's, I know them, they do cross the line. It's gonna be people you never even heard of putting on mitris, putting on hairpieces. Yeah, man, I'm down. I'm part of the Israelites, man. I'm a part of this and part of that. You can look at them like, who the hell are you? Nobody know you. Why would they do that? Because they want to belong. That's what it was like when Christ was on the earth, man. Christ was a celebrity, not a celebrity, but he was famous in a way that you couldn't even imagine. And guess what? There were some people who was following him that just wanted to be a part of the crowd. Just wanted to be down with something. Just wanted to say, yeah, that man who was healing people and was casting out demons, I walked with him. I followed him. I sat down and ate when he sat down and ate. Let's read 1 John 2:19 says. 1 John 2:18 says, little children, it is the last time. And as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. There are many people who are against Christ. There are many people who have nothing to do with what Christ taught, completely against what he stood for. Verse 19, they went out from us. Where did these antichrists come from? Hell, they came from following us. They came from following Christ. They came from being down with him, but then they left out from us. But they were not of us. Them cats that left Christ, they were following him, but they was not with him. And that is why they left. Everybody understands? Read on. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. Verse 20. But ye have an unction from the... Oh, so we could drop that. So understand, Zaquan, them brothers that rode with Christ, man, but then they left. They were not the brothers and the sisters in the truth today. Hell, I pray I'm not... Well, I wasn't one of them cats. I pray I'm a brother that always rode with the Lord and stood with the Lord till death. Because that's what the Most High requires. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Salaki, y'all. Salaki. You understand? Matter of fact, Salaki, bear with me. Salaki, y'all. So yeah, the brothers and sisters that stood with Christ to the end, they the brothers and sisters that's coming into the truth now. Everybody understands? All right, so we good on that. So let me go ahead and answer the sister's question, all right? Answer the sister's question. So the sister, she asked, since Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the chosen people, who created these other people and religions if the Most High did not? If the Most High did create them, why would he if they aren't the chosen people? All right, it's a good question from the sister Anisha, so we're going to go ahead and go into that for the rest of the class, all right? It says, so who are these other people? Who are these other people on the earth if the Most High created a chosen people? First, we're going to go to in the Apocrypha. Let's get First Ezra chapter 9. I want to say it's verse 53. Let me get it. Hold on. Let me see. All right. Let's get Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. Matter of fact, we're going to read Second Ezra. We're going to go up a couple verses above it, all right? All right, yeah, this is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. Hold up. All right. This is Second Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. It says, after these, Adam also, whom thou made Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. All of us come of Adam. Why? Because Adam and his children's children, all the way down to Noah, they were the ones who survived when the Lord flooded the earth and killed all the other people on the earth. Also, too, man, I said this in class before. I'm working on a lecture that I'm going to do showing historical and archaeological evidence that there was a flood that flooded the world. You understand that there was it's all types of evidence that I'm amassing and collecting that I'm going to present in a lecture proving that the Bible, when it speaks of the flood of Noah, is true and accurate about there being a time when the Lord flooded the earth and killed everybody. All right. Noah and his 3 sons and their wives were the only people who lived through that flood, which means what? Everybody after the flood, everybody's blood comes from the line that Adam started. So all of us come of Adam. And the people also whom thou hast chosen. The people of the earth come from Adam, but also the people who the Lord chose come from Adam. Verse 55, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. The Lord made the world for our sake, even though he made all these other people. What about these other people then? What are they, what's their role? What's their position? Verse 56, as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So yes, there are other people on the earth, and them other people, they also come of Adam. But what about them? God does not care about those other people who come from Adam. God does not give a damn. And you might say to yourself, well, why would God make people and not give a damn about them? Why would God make people and not care about them? Let me help you out. Come on in. We're going to go into the book of Romans. All right. We'll go to the book of Romans. Let me get the 9th chapter. All right. Book of Romans, the 9th chapter. All right. This is Romans 9 and 13. Romans chapter 9, verse 13. Come on and have a seat. All right. Not Romans 9 and 13. Bear with me. Hold up. Hold up. It's Romans chapter 9. Let's see something. It's Romans 9 and 17. All right, we'll get Romans 9 and 17. Bear with me. Before we get Romans 9 and 17, let me get hold up. Got Amos 3 and 1 and Psalms chapter 147 and 19. All right. Amos 3 and 1, we're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold Psalms chapter 147 and 19. Let's go to Romans chapter 9. All right. It's Romans 9. Hold on, bear with me. All right, let's get Romans 9 and 13. We're going to start at verse 13. All right, it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Verse 14 says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid, meaning what? There's no unrighteousness with the Most High. He created all the nations. He created us, who he loves, and he created Esau, who he hates. So is it wrong that the Most High hate Esau? No. Verse 15, for he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Meaning what? The Most High decides who he's going to have mercy on. He decides who he's going to have compassion on. You understand? It's not for us to decide. Bear with me. All right, going back. Verse 16 says, so then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High who shows the mercy. You understand? Verse 17, for the scripture said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. You understand? So the Most High, he's giving life to everybody. He raised us up, raised up these other nations. You want to know why he made these other nations? He said he raised Pharaoh up so that he could show his power in destroying Pharaoh. Could be the same thing. You could be thinking the same thing with the white man. Think the same thing with the people that's ruling the earth today. If God loves us, if he chose us as his people, why would he allow the white man to be cruel and to be evil on the earth? Some things the scripture say that the Most High's greatest strength is that he is merciful and he is long suffering. You understand? And in his mercy and long suffering, the Most High will give the wicked enough rope to hang themselves. He'll give them everything they need so that he be justified and praised in the day when he destroyed them. And that's what's going on in the earth today. That's what's happening with our oppressor. And because we the people that the Lord chose, we suffering, we in hell, we dying from drug addiction. You understand? Dying from gang violence, killing one another, trying to love our oppressor, trying to be a part of America. Why? Because we don't want to listen to the Most High. We don't want to obey him. We don't want to do what he said to do. But the Most High knows that there's some of us who we see that the way that we live in is wrong. We see that this is an evil place. You understand? And if there is a God, that there's no way that he put us on the earth to be living like this. And he knows that we're going to hear his voice and we're going to change our lives. We're going to come into the truth and we're going to obey him and be good children. You understand? Reading on. It says verse 18, therefore he have mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will, he hardeneth. Some of us, he going to have mercy on. Some of us, the Lord, you're going to stay being wicked until he destroy him. Verse 19, thou wilt say then unto me, why does he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? Now, some people will say, but it's wrong for God to create some people to be evil just to destroy them. Why would he even give them life? Why make people and allow them to be wicked? Why make people and allow them to be evil if he's going to destroy them? Why would the Lord have good people suffer bad things? If the Lord knows, if he wants you to obey him and serve him, why would he make life so hard for some people? You understand? That's a question that some people can arrive at, hearing that the Most High has created everything and is in charge of all things. Reading on, verse 19, Salakia. Verse 20, nay, but oh man, who art thou that repliest against God? Who are you to question the Most High? Who are you to say that the way he set it up is wrong and it ain't fair? Reading on, shall the thing formed to say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Imagine that. Imagine you make a cup. You make one cup to drink out of. You make another pot. A pot is made for what? For you to use the bathroom in. Should the toilet be jealous over the cup because you drank out of a cup, but you go to the bathroom in the toilet? No. Whatever your purpose is, you have to fulfill that purpose. The cup was made to be a cup to be drinking out of. The toilet was made for you to go to the bathroom in it. And they're going to serve their purpose. That's the way creation is. Well, some of us, the Most High created us to be righteous and to obey him. For others, the Most High created us and we wicked and won't obey him. And guess what? We destroyed, and the Lord used us as an example to other people of why we should obey him. Verse 21, have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? If the Most High is the creator, there's some people he created to be honorable, man. And some people he created to obey him, to be his children, to be his people. As for everybody else, who knows why the Most High created them? But the Bible is clear that there's a people the Lord created to be honorable, to obey him. I'm going to get you a couple more scriptures after this. I'm going to read verse 21 again. Romans 9:21. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Verse 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? That's who Esau is. That's the white man. They were made to be the wicked. They were made to dishonor God. They were made to disobey him in every way. And that is what has allowed them to get power on the earth. That is what has allowed them to be in charge for the past 2,000 years. And here in America, they passing all manner of abominable laws, making everything that goes against God, they making it acceptable. You want to be a homosexual, you want to be transgender, you understand? You want to get high, you want to rape children, molest children, whatever you want to do, they allowing it to be done. God is enduring it because the day when he destroyed this place, everybody is going to know that rich, that amazing empire that they raised up, God came and destroyed it. And it won't be the first time. You read in the Bible, you read about a place called Sodom and Gomorrah, a place full of homosexuals, a place full of transgenders. What did God do? He wiped it off the face of the earth. Right now in the Middle East, there's a place called the Dead Sea where nothing grows. Why? Because that's the place where God had you know, a meteorite or something come out of the sky and destroy that empire of homosexuals over there. What you think they're gonna say about America when God destroys it? Reading on verse 23, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he had afore prepared unto glory. That's the children of Israel in the Bible. These other nations, they the vessels of wrath fitted for destruction. We are the vessels of the Most High's glory, who will be praised and covered in the Most High's riches in the day when he comes to judge this place. Let me get you two more scriptures and we're going to close it out, all right? Let me get Isaiah chapter 147, I mean, not Isaiah, Psalms 147 and 19. Then we're going to go to Amos chapter 3, verse 1. Psalms 147 and 19 says, he shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. You understand? The Bible was only written for one people. It was written for Jacob. The Lord didn't give his word to anybody else. God's laws were only given to one nation of people. You want to know why the white man been a homosexual for 2,000 years and they built the greatest empire on the earth? As soon as black people do it, we number one in AIDS and HIV. Number one, you know what I'm saying, dying of all of the diseases that come from homosexuality, because God gave us laws that said don't be a homosexual. Hell, the white man, the Italians and the Germans, the white man has been selling drugs for hundreds of years on the earth. We look at the crack epidemic, and it's been bad to black people. It destroyed our community. Heroin, hell, today they popping pills, and it's been bad on our people. But go Google the opium wars and go look at what the white man did to China 300 years ago, 400 years ago. What the white man has done to us in America, he's been doing on the earth for hundreds of years, thousands of years. We started selling drugs in what, the 60s? We didn't killed our people, gone to jail, mass incarceration, 3 strikes law. You understand? Many of us grew up without our fathers. Why? Because of drug addiction or because of prison. Some of our mothers is drug addicts, hoes, prostitutes. Why? Because of the crack epidemic. We go into crime, we go into sinning against the Lord, and we destroyed by it. Why? Because he told us better. We the children that know better than to live our lives this way. These other nations, they do whatever the hell they want to do. God ain't even paying them no attention. You understand? Why does he pay so much attention to us? Because we are the vessels made for glory. We were made to show the earth the way that you're supposed to live. We were made to show the earth this is the reward for obeying the Most High. Reading on, Psalms 147, 19. He showed his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Verse 20, he have not dealt so with any nation. The Most High ain't dealt with no other nation the way he's dealt with us. He has not delivered his laws and his statutes to any other nation but us. You read in the Bible, God delivered us out of the hands of Egypt. What other people has God freed from captivity? There is none. Every one of the prophets in the Bible, where they come from? The 12 tribes of Israel. Every priest in the Bible, the 12 tribes of Israel. Every righteous man and woman you read about in the Bible, they're from the 12 tribes of Israel. Why? Because we the people that the Lord has dealt with. Reading on it. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. You understand? We the only people that the Most High has known and has dealt with. Amos chapter 3, verse 1, going to drive home the point. In case you're thinking, that's just one scripture. Maybe I'm twisting the scriptures and I'm making things up. Let's see what Amos 3 and 1 says. Hear ye the word that the Most High has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities. The Lord said he know us. He don't know of all the other nations, he knows us. You understand? He going to punish us for all our iniquities. Now, how could God say that he's only known us if he created everybody? Why does the Bible say he only knows us? The Bible was written by black people, man, written by black men. The same way we talk today, that's how we talked in biblical. That's the same way we spoke in the ancient Hebrew. You understand? So when God say, of all the families of the earth, I only know you, you might have lived in a neighborhood your whole life, grew up on the same block. But guess what? You might, of course, you see all your neighbors, you know everybody in the neighborhood, but there's only a few people that you really deal with. Only a few people that you consider your people. It's like having family and having acquaintances. These other nations, man, the Lord see them, but He's not dealing with them. They just here. And they have their own cultures, they have their own beliefs, their own way of life, and the Most High is okay with that. But our way of life, our culture is supposed to be the one that everybody looks to say, that's what righteousness looks like. That's what serving the Most High looks like. 2 more scriptures. Let me get on. Hold up. Hold on. It's Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Deuteronomy 32 and 8. And let me get Deuteronomy 6 and 4. No, not Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Deuteronomy 4 and 5. Deuteronomy 4 and 5 and Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Let me get Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Real quick, it says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when He separated the sons of Adam, He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. The Most High is the one who divided these other nations. He's the one that made races, made different nations and different people with their different cultures and their different languages. He separated them. You understand? And everybody has their own way of life. Everybody has their own culture, their own religion, their own, you understand, a way of doing things. And the Most High is okay with that. But here's why He gave us what He gave us. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Most High my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who have God so close unto them, as the Most High our power is in all things that we call upon Him for? And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? The Lord gave us His law, statutes, and commandments so that the other nations would see how we were living, see how we were thriving, see how we weren't fighting and going to war with one another, weren't turning our sisters into whores and the prostitutes, weren't allowing our young boys to be molested and become homosexuals. You understand? Wasn't getting high, wasn't destroying ourselves. The other nations supposed to look at us obeying the Most High and say, man, this is an honorable, wise people. Black people in America, man, they is amazing. Them Hispanics, them Latinos, them Native Indians, they are amazing. And they would come and learn from us how to stop violence in their country. They would come learn to us, you understand, how to stop the killings in their countries. And we would be able to teach them the truth of the Bible. You understand? So for the sister Anisha to ask the question, that's the answer. The Lord gave us these laws, statutes, and commandments because He wanted us to be the people who set the standard for everybody else. The Bible says we were raised to be a nation of kings and princes. You understand? To be a beacon to the rest of the earth, that this is how you're supposed to live. This is how you're supposed to serve the Most High. This is how you're supposed to prosper and thrive. And we are living in these times where things are continually getting worse. You look on the internet, I know a lot of y'all want to get back to regular life so bad. Y'all want things to go back to the way they were. The Lord is showing you that this place is not going back to the way it was. I know you want the coronavirus to end and you want all of the pain to stop. Everybody want to be able to go to work and get their money. Everybody want to go back to the club. The Lord is shutting all that down. The club is done. You understand? Going back to the way things were is done. And what we should do is see that the Most High is moving and find out, well, what does He require of us? What do we have to do? You understand? And if we stand together with the Most High, we obey these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Most High is going to raise us up and make us that nation that He called us to be. and it is going to be a glorious thing. Everybody understands? Again, so I'm gonna get ready to close out the class. Y'all got some other things I need to tend to. You understand? But again, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m., Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge here in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Captain Soccer Wolf. You got people out there, you care about loved ones in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding area. Get them in contact with us. Send them to the school. You understand? Tuesday is a Brotherhood class. Wednesday is a biblical law class. Thursday is scripture breakdown. So we'll be back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. Y'all brothers and sisters tune in. Shalom.